And it's not just for a product manager, even people working on a product. It's
Yeah.
very important to understand this because if you understand a customer's journey to this point, I will be able to feel my customer's pain if I know a journey of my customer,
Yeah.
right? So it starts off with first really understanding my customer's journey.
Yeah.
But even before that, it starts off by identifying who my customer is,
Correct.
right?
Absolutely. I
And
mean, like, I think if we are kind of opening up a very broad area of discussion, right? Like, there's, like, I mean, hence, like, like the mindset kind of, I'd say tags, I don't want to go towards, but I want to think about organically where this conversation leads to. And I think you're organically going towards that space where you're thinking of, okay, now I've spoke to 100 people,
yeah,
but maybe not 100 of them are
my
could potentially buy
customers.
my customers, right?
Yes.
So we then go into the space of, if this product needs to be profitable, for instance, do these folks, are they earning money, right? Will they ever be able to pay for it? If I want to build a product where my end users are not paying for it, can somebody pay for them? And in loosely looked at, um, that's what enterprise products are. A lot of the users of the product are not the people who are paying for the product. Their companies, their employers do.
Yeah.
Right? And hence the decision making becomes even more difficult
Yeah.
because somebody who's using the product has a different need. But somebody who's buying the
Buying,
product
yes.
could be your IT department or a procurement department. How do you then marry those? So it's important for you to understand. Like, I think very different problems when you look at it from a B2C space and a B2B space. In a B2C space, I think this problem you'll discover very fast, right? Like, you will know willingness to spend, ability to change, that behavior curve very fast. And these days, if your journey is entirely digital, then you can test even faster.
Yeah.
Right? You can have ads that offer the value prop of your product.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can test who responds to it versus not. And quite a few famous products have started that way. In the enterprise world, it's slightly slower cycles, but there are interesting techniques to test there as well. I mean, we won't get into the
Yeah.
the techniques aspect,
True.
but these are a couple of spaces that you can do where you want to identify who your customer is, and if you get those cohorts wrong, you might be digging down a wrong path for a very long time.
Yeah.
So it's important to keep calibrating, and especially in the early scaling parts of the of your product, or what we call product market fit, right? Like, there is a product that is essentially a solution to a problem, to a market where there is a need for a problem. How do these two fit very well, right? These two build a deeper fit for each other, then you're solving the need very deeply. Then you can go on to become, a more successful product. Of course, there are other elements to it as well, but this is a first principles view of, what it
What
can take.
And in this process, Akshay, a major part of it, I've seen two different types of product management roles, right? One is where the product manager is reporting to the engineering side of things.
Fair enough.
Another is which is really reporting to the business or the P&L side of things. And the influence and the ability to thereby impact is very different.
Yeah. No, I would also say it's related to the business context, right? Like, the reason why you have folks working or reporting to, let's say, engineering, sometimes even to sales, or sometimes even to other customer functions, right? Like, not necessarily just P&L. P&L or business ownership, is the way the industry that product is in, right? And what is the dominant need in that industry is important. Like, if you're a heavy engineering company, right, where engineering is the core heart and center of what you're doing, it makes sense to have an engineering person lead and then have product go there, right? And a lot of, if you think of a product like AWS, right, like Amazon Web Services, a lot of work there is hardware, core platform work, which is not customer facing.
Correct.
But they're integral to the success of the product. So potentially a lot of PMs there are hardcore engineers. They're not what you would think of in a regular frame of mind. So that context is very important, right, when you do it. But in a larger, more aggregate view, the second cohort is always more productive, because if you're if your goals are aligned to what the business and the entire company's goals are, you're more likely to succeed, right? Because like we say in any career conversation, right, we want to say pick up roles that are closer to revenue,
Yeah.
right? So you want to have been a product role that's closer to revenue. That will always help you create the most impact, because you're not only shaping the strategy, but you're also executing and delivering on that.
Yeah.
And you're getting the entire, the flywheel experience where what you're doing is coming back and
And
adding
you're
to
able to
more,
see it. Yes.
and you're able to do more and more, and then you scale the business accordingly, and that is a fascinating experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And